And I wasn't going to say anything, but I think I would be less of an individual to sit here on this council and have heard the words that has been spoken, and as profound as they may be, and with all the respect of the First Amendment rights to those individuals. To some degree, I have to say that discrimination has been a very, very ugly word in America for a long period of time. And as we all said here today, of all the accomplishments that has been made, we still know that in this world there are indifferences that are shown to individuals because of who they are and what they are, be it based on their race, creed, color, national origin, or religion, or gender. It still exists. But with that, it's if that we have not made some major accomplishments to cure those ills. And I, for one, is a true product of some of that. From my family, for generations and generations. For me, as I said here today, there are still issues of the same sort that I have to battle with. But I'm not going around blaming others for it. The fortitude of me as an individual and the respect of the Constitution that we have in America and all the amendments to the Constitution has been the leverage that we have all had to use to cure those ills, those issues. And so for every court in the United States of America, you will find from the state district courts to the federal courts to the United States Supreme Courts, various opinions and decisions as it has addressed these particular issues. The problem I have here is that out of all of those changes, they were only made because there were causes and there were issues that was brought to the forefront. The civil rights movement was only because of the treatment of people by their color and the accomplishments of the Civil Rights Act and the Supreme Court case of Brown versus Board of Education was only because people was treated in a cruel and unusual and dehumanizing way. And because of that, those individuals took their positions as lawyers. Those individuals who sat as judges had to make decisions based upon the Constitution as they interpreted in the amendments to the Constitution. But there was issues that they had before them. My problem with this is that, and I've asked on several occasions, how many times have we had to address this issue with the city and the city's personnel policy as it relates to discriminating against individuals based upon their sexual orientation? Then the question is, what is the definition of sexual orientation? How many people can come and say, this is my sexual orientation? So whereas the definition of sexual orientation is a perplexing question that continues to be asked and there's no answer for it. And so we hear the argument that this is what have been done in other cities and other municipalities and in other states. And I'm not one to just fall for what somebody say was done in another city, another municipality, another state, because you don't know the facts and you don't know the circumstances and you don't know the conditions that existed there. But if we're going to talk about Oklahoma City, let's talk about what really exists in Oklahoma City. Is it an issue in Oklahoma City? Have we had it come before this council with empirical data that has stated that because of this individuals or because of the sexual orientation issue, that some people are being denied employment, that some people are being treated in a hostile environment, in a hostile way. All I asked for was, can we at least be able to make decisions as it relates to changing issues, as it pertains to life issues, with some information that you can stand on. The state legislature takes time to investigate. They have committees, they have studies before they just rapidly throw something out and say, we're going to pass this because of what? I think every policy that we as a council, every policy that the personnel department, every policy that legal, I think all of those issues have to be based upon some foundation of an issue that exists in order to make a change to correct that problem. And I would ask that, concurring with Councilman McAtee, that we take respect of the fact that we have a legal department, that we have a personnel department, that this personnel policy wasn't drafted by the 8 people that sit on this council. The personnel policy was drafted by the staff that the city manager has put together to address these very issues. And I would defer to that. I think that's where it should begin and that's where it should end. And if we're in a situation where it becomes a legal matter, then you have those individuals who are the experts in each one of their departments to address that issue. We as councilmen, we can say that we're experts in certain policies based upon our background, based upon what we did before we came to the council, based upon what we do now. But God forbid, we are not the experts in labor law. And I would just like to say that, you know, there's nobody on this council, I don't think, would say one thing about anybody's sexual belief, their desires, their orientation, if you call it, their gender, their religion, in any shape, form, or fashion. And to some degree, it makes it look like that this was put here and brought to us to say that we've been doing something wrong, that we've been sinful against a class of people, that we've discriminated against a class of people. And I haven't seen any information to prove that. And I just, you know, maybe it's my training. Maybe in law they teach you, you don't go to court unless you have something to stand on and you have an issue that you can argue and you have some law to support it. Maybe that's just my training. But I think it's the fair way of treating any type of issue as it relates to these type of matters.